The new signal service is going to actually be a service that I say what I'm going to do that next day of trading. So am I entering a new position tomorrow? Am I closing a position tomorrow? So the signal service is going to be for people who are already trading, who want to compare what they're doing with my signals and make sure that they're on the right track. Some of them will want to split their portfolio and be diversified, and they'll be trading some money on their own account. They'll be trading money from in the signal service. And some people will say, I don't want to do any of this. I don't want to have anything to do with it. All I want to do is follow the signals. So people will have a choice. Signal service, this is what's coming up. I've explained this a couple of times. There's going to be two. There's going to be one for trading, shorter term. There's going to be one that actually will go with your self-managed super fund, and it's going to be using weekly charts. So this trading signals, there'll be a daily update, whether we do it by an email notification, but whether you use the signal service for you investing, that you actually buy the signals as they come, or sometimes it'll help people who are already trading. I've got a number of people who have been with me for years, and they're looking forward to the signal service so they can match what they're doing with what I'm doing in the signal service. Because what I'm going to tell is everything that I'm going to do the following day. Or if it comes out in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, it'll be the market opens at 10. It'll be what am I going to do that day? Have I changed the stop? Am I entering a new market? Have I been stopped out and I'm closing a position? So it'll be all of that. And obviously there'll be too many signals to trade. There probably will be, at any one time, there might be 20 entries. Well, I'm only going to have 8 in my model portfolio, and that's all I put in my super fund portfolio. So people will start at different points in time, but I will have a model portfolio which will have 4 US companies in it and 4 Australian companies in it. So there'll be diversification, and we talked about this at the break with a couple of people. The reason that the US is included is one, for diversification. There are hundreds of people involved or interested in this. And if we take 100 people and we all go into the same company, and it's got a market cap of 250 million, which would be reasonable for the ASX 300, we're going to have some problems. All right? So having US companies and Australian companies means that we'll have less problems. There'll be better diversification and better liquidity in the US. And the second reason is that they don't perform the same. We've underperformed the last 12 months. The US has outperformed us. So we would be exposed to the US a lot during the last 12 months. And our portfolio would reflect the good results. There will be some people who who have heard this presentation and they don't have a charting package and they don't want one. What they're going to do is basically call a broker on the phone and say, when Jim trades, do the trade. And that's all right. But, you know, there's going to be a wide range of people getting involved at different levels. Some people are going to split it up and trade some of their own and have some into the signals. Up to the individual. I give the signals. Each individual does what they want with the signals. This is for the investing signals. It's a weekly update, except that you're going to have to look for the daily entry and the emergency exit. Because remember, the daily entry is that daily volatility signal, and then after you're in, you switch to the weekly. So if you have room in your portfolio, you have funds available, you're going to want to be able to watch that on a daily basis for the entry price. Once you're fully invested, you got to pay attention, a little bit of attention. It'll take about 3 minutes per night to check your portfolio to make sure that there's not a signal on an emergency, that there wasn't a very sharp fall in any of the companies that you have money in, because if there is, there's a possibility we'll get an emergency exit. Because what happened over the years is that people really like the longer term, the weekly charts, because they're less involved and they don't have to look at charts or do a lot of monitoring of charts every single day. They like the idea. What they didn't like was 2 weeks close below the trailing stop. It's a long time. Market can move a long way in 2 weeks if things are going bad. So what we put in there was an emergency stop of 1 day. Okay? Same thing. We're going to use fundamental and the volatility. We'll use both the ASX and international.